And as the dissent continues to sweep the Arab world, driven by the young, their Gen Y counterparts in Australia are joining in the protest movements online and on the streets.
Only months ago, it would have seemed an unlikely story. A young Tunisian setting himself on fire, triggering a revolt that topples a government. Emboldened by that uprising, millions of Egyptians then took to the streets to end President Hosni Mubarak's 30 years of iron rule. And protests in Libya trigger a civil war. Faced with years of unemployment under the rule of oppressive regimes, young people across the Arab world are now demanding change. Algeria, Yemen, Jordan, Djibouti, Bahrain and Syria. Previous generations failed on reform. This one is breaking the mould.
The reason why these are different is that we're now looking at a generation that has become much better educated, much better fed, much better capable of organising to achieve a specific political outcome than we have seen in the past. There's never been a history in the Arab world of youth movements as such being successful in overthrowing an established order.
Dr. Bob Bowker is an adjunct professor with the Australian National University's Centre for Arab and Islamic Studies. He's also a former Australian ambassador to Jordan and Egypt. He identifies the television network Al Jazeera as creating a whole new means of political discussion in the Middle East. Arabs seeing and hearing Arabs without a Western filter. Then social media like Facebook and Twitter helped mobilise and organise Arabs like never before.
The difference now with social media, netbook, Facebook, the sort of networking that we're seeing between groups that have previously had very little to do with each other, has been to actually engage people directly in political life. And that's a major change.
Protesters have been able to motivate supporters by broadcasting images using YouTube. Pictures like these have inspired young Australians to take action too. Hawa Al-Zagani is a 22-year-old student at the University of Sydney. An Iraqi refugee, she heads a group campaigning for greater human rights in Bahrain.
The people are basically protesting peacefully to go against it, asking for basic human rights.
Hawa keeps up to date on news from inside Bahrain thanks to YouTube, Facebook and blogs. She was also able to organise demonstrations in Sydney and Canberra thanks to social media. She's convinced it sets her generation apart from previous movements.
Our generation is different. People didn't know about what was happening because there was no social connect, there was no social interaction between them. It was all about media. If media don't cover it, no one knows about it. But now, no, if media don't cover it, we have Facebook. Okay, we have YouTube. We have MSN.
In Adelaide, Mohammed Kafaji rallied people in front of the South Australian Parliament in solidarity with protesters in Syria, Libya and Bahrain. The 22-year-old student says social media is crucial as protesters turn their back on state-sponsored alternatives.
The news that we hear through Twitter and Facebook are purely uploaded by citizens like you and I, myself, on the ground. So you can see actually what the message is being given directly online without being filtered by any other media, which could be very biased.
Mohammed is hopeful that the change Tunisians and Egyptians fought for will eventually influence nations like Bahrain. The opposition is oppressed, but battle there is far from over. Leroy Arben, World News Australia.
And do go to SBS Online for more in-depth features about the role of social media in the Arab uprisings.